be seated. Please find a comfortable posture. Keep your back straight, chin up. If you don't keep your back straight as much as you can, maybe easily falling asleep. Gently close your eyes. Make a wish for determination. Today, this morning, I am going to meditate. This meditation helps to keep my mind strong, balanced, joy and peaceful. Take few deep, long breaths and let go and relax your mind, your body. This hour, we are totally committing our lives, go inward. Always our minds are going outward. We all are concerned about what is happening in the world, what is happening in our families, workplace, our society, country. Very little concern what is happening inside us. This is your time, this is my time. Go inward, introspection, to see and feel our own lives. In this moment, look at yourself respectfully and lovingly. Appreciate your body and mind, your life. Even life has all the challenges and difficulties. How beautiful. Still I am surviving, I am breathing. I have place to live, I have food to eat. When we compare to other parts of the world, still we are fine here. Therefore, learn how to appreciate what you have instead of worries, anxieties, and complaining about it. Having this awareness in your mind, please send your loving thoughts towards yourself, thinking, I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. May no harm come to me, may no difficulties come to me. Always find spiritual strength, mind power, understanding. I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. Now send your loving thoughts towards your family. May all of my family members be well, be happy, be peaceful. Bring a picture of your each family members. Just imagine they are smiling to you, you are smiling to them, they are in front of you. You are looking at them lovingly and gentle manner. Even you have some difficulties and issues and problems with them, this moment leave everything behind for a while. Try to change your perspective of them, what they did, how they did. Is it possible for you to separate yourself from that distraction and looking at them kindly, lovingly? Instead of anger or disappointment towards them, is it possible for you to think of them with loving kindness, understanding we all human beings? May they be well, may they be happy, may they be peaceful. Now send your loving thoughts towards whole world. May all human beings be well, be happy, be peaceful. Now slowly turn your attention to your breath. Every breath you take in, you take out is taken mindfully. Focus on your natural, ordinary breaths. No need to repress your thoughts. No need to control your thoughts. Let them come and go. No need to repress your thoughts. No need to control them. Be aware of them. Accept them. Respect them. Be friendly with them. Don't go against to them. No need to condemn them. Sometimes meditation seems to be difficult because our concentration is not well developed. It takes time. Therefore, don't be hurry to be peaceful. Take your time, step by step, day by day, little by little. Every day you are progressing. Remember, slowly is holy. There is no way for instant happiness. If your intention is to find instant happiness, the same way that happiness will disappear. Observe your mind, observe your body. Your body is relaxed, your mind is calm, tranquil, and peaceful. Make a strong determination to practice meditation. This is your best life insurance. All other security we have, they are not permanent. This is the best one. Now I am going to chant for all. Now you can bring your palms together close to your heart center. So many people requested blessing and prayers. This is the time. You can bring your intention for the blessing. You can be a receiver, and also you can do blessings to other people after you meditate, because your mind is focused and purified. This is the best time to receive and give it to other people, send it to other people. Bahun sahasamabinim mitasayudhantang girimekalang udita ghora sasena marang dhanadi dhamma vidhina jitva munindo tantejasa bhavatu te jaya mangalani maratireka mabiyuj jita sambaranting ghoram panalavaka makka matandayakkhang khanti suddhanta vidhina jitva munindo tantejasa bhavatu te jaya mangalani nalagiring gajavarang atimanta bhutang davangi cangka masaniva sudarunantang metambuseka vidhina jitva munindo tantejasa bhavatu te jaya mangalani. May you be well, may you be happy, may you be peaceful. Thank you very much. Please open your eyes. Okay, good morning everybody. So happy to see you this morning. I think we have, all the human beings, we have a tendency to be unhappy. So whoever I talk, always people telling me how unhappy they are, how difficult their life, challenging. It's very interesting to me. So I was questioning, why is that? Why people are always unhappy? Why do they have that tendency to be unhappy? When I think about certain people's lives, because I know them closely, for me they don't have a reason to be unhappy. There's no reason. I can see closely. We have that nature anyway, but they have everything. They have food. They have beautiful homes to live. They have comfortable life, but still they are unhappy. Then I was thinking, why is that? We are so used to be unhappy. We are believing that is the truth now. Why we are conditioned to that? Not one day, not 2 days, not 1 week, not 1 month, years being unhappy. Now we are believing that's a big part of our lives. So when I talk about myself, as a human being, I have experiences I was being unhappy. Sometimes people even, they don't believe it. Oh, how come you be unhappy? So why? I'm human being, I'm honest. So that's a kind of human condition. So once in a while I feel because of the certain things I'm unhappy. As I said, that's a kind of the tendency we have because we are so used to live like that. But the good thing about my practice, or I can talk about myself, about yourself, even I am experiencing unhappiness day or 2 or week, quickly I can recover. How about that? Some people take that unhappiness, keep it, believe in it, live with it, continue with it. Some people who practice meditation, don't believe unhappiness is the only way to live our life. There is so many other ways to live our lives. So when you are practicing, quickly discover to get out from that unhappiness. That is the purpose of your practice. So if you feel unhappy, don't be unhappy about unhappiness. So when you are unhappy, when you are going through some challenges, recognize them closely and try to get out from that conditional mind. So the other day, one of my friend called me and talked about one of my other friends and student. Then one of my friend, I am talking about the 2 friends, and he called me and said, so and so, that person is really unhappy right now because they are good friends. Bhante, I hope you can help this person. I said, I don't know what is going on. I heard the story from that person. Then I said, if that person contact me, maybe I will say something. I will try to help. So then I was quiet about it. Then I knew that person will call me. I was kind of waiting for that call. Finally, he called me. So right after he called me and he said, Bhante, I have something to talk with you. I said, sure, I know what is coming, but anyway, I said, okay, sure, you can let me know. I'm ready to listen. So then he said, I am building a house. I am building a new house. In front of my house, another person also building a house. Another family also building a house. The way they build that house is so ugly. It is affecting to my house. It is covering all the nature view after they build that house. So last 2 weeks I couldn't sleep because of that. I was talking to my wife about it. Now this lady, she's putting more information into it. Now making him more angry about it. Now he said, when I'm walking around, I always see it. I'm always angry. They are my neighbors, they are nice people, but I'm so angry with it. Why they are building ugly house in front of my house? Now think about very simple act. Now this person has weeks and days, cannot sleep and mad. Then he talks to a couple of other people and asking some help. I am going to talk to them, or I am going to complain to the city. Now he's going to take some action about it. So then he was complaining about his whole dilemma, what is going on in his mind. Then I said, what is the purpose of your house? What is the purpose you are building that house? I am building that house for me, my family, my children, to live peaceful life. Then what do you think about that person who is building that house? Now we build the conversation. What do you think of his purpose of building that house? Then he said, his purpose also building that house, he wants to live a happy and peaceful life in there. Maybe he is doing it differently. Then he asked me, is there any action I can take? Is it okay if I take some action? I said, already he built the house. Now they are putting the roof. After you go and complain to them, what will happen? Do you think they will bulldoze that house? I don't think so. Because they are working so hard to build that house. They are very happy and excited about they are building their own house. Then I said, how about if you are unhappy building about that house, you can change your perspective about it. Be happy. Another person in this world building a house for him or his family to have a good life. The way exactly you are going to enjoy your house. Then he said, it is so hard for me to think like that. Then I said, that means you are going to fail. That means you are building a beautiful house. The rest of your life, you are going to be unhappy in that house. Why? Every day in front of that house, you have that ugly house you call the ugly house. So then I experienced what people are doing. People are looking for pain and suffering, and whatever happening in the world, they don't know to figure it out. They don't know to find the peaceful, balanced life. So therefore, I am asking you, you cannot change everything in this world. Whatever happening, you cannot change everything. You cannot change everybody. Then I asked him, do you think, for example, you go and stop counter question, if you are the person building that house, how do you feel? I said, definitely I will feel a little sad about it, being honest. Then what I am going to think, I said, I am not going to live forever in my own house. One day I will die, I will leave this house. Therefore, learn how to live in your house with your neighbors peaceful manner. Then I asked him, what is the purpose of your spiritual practice? He's a spiritual practitioner. The way spiritual practitioners, way the meditative people, the way they think has to be different. Then he said, I'm so happy to have a Buddhist monk as my friend. So I'm going to think, but it is hard. If it is easy, I said, if it is easy for you, no need to do this, nothing to do. If it is difficult, please keep trying to do it. So then I said to him, how about turning this distraction for your own benefit, for your own growth, to find compassion, find balance, acceptance, letting go. Then I said to him, you are always believing one day Buddha or the great teachers will come and teach you about developing your mind, how to create the positive thinking, and always you are thinking great teachers and the Buddha will come to you. I said, Buddha already there in front of you. The people who are building that house, giving you opportunity to practice and learn about yourself. If you don't take that chance, where and when you are going to practice? So then he was thinking, that's a nice thought, I am going to consider that. Then I know this person, my friend, he has some money. There are other people who are building that house, they don't. Maybe they work all their life to make that money and build that house. Then I said, that neighbor works so hard every day, years, collecting that money to build his dream house. Let him to build it. So enjoy it with him. So then he said, even it is difficult, I follow your guidance, I try to learn from that house or that family become my teaching and my Buddha and my practice. So when we are talking about gaining wisdom, always we have opportunities to gaining the wisdom. So one way to gaining the wisdom is listening. Then I was thinking, when I say something to my friend, he was a good listener. Why? He was believing, even it is difficult, he was believing practice is very important. That's why he didn't suffer himself, he contacted me. Then he was listening, he didn't argue with me. He didn't say, I want to live in this pain, because I become noble friend to him and that person I try to help. Then he said, I am listening to you, I am going to follow your guidance. So therefore, as a spiritual practitioner, always listen. Listening is a really good thing. While you are listening, so many thoughts may happening in your mind, maybe you don't like them, but still you can listen. Certain things people come and tell me, I don't like it at all, be honest. But I bring my mindfulness into that presentation, I am listening to that person. Because I had the issue, I don't want to listen, that's my nature. But getting better with this practice, I know how to listen now. Listening doesn't mean you are accepting everything. But when you are listening, that's a good quality. When you are listening, you are gaining patience too at the same time. So when I was a young monk, I had the difficulty, I am always talking, like very talkative. So my teacher had the issue with that. He always, like my father, he always tried to control me, always I'm asking questions, I'm always making trouble. Then he said, don't talk always, you have to be quiet. So when I was a very young monk, so I cannot stand for that. I'm always want to ask, why is this red color, why is this, always asking question. One day my teacher asked me, do you know the bird owl? You know the bird owl? I said yes. what do you see? Think about owl, imagining the owl. What do you see? Then I said, when I think of an owl has two big eyes. Then my teacher asked, what he does? Just watch. Then as a monk, be an owl. Just watch, don't talk. How wonderful, right? Then I said, okay, I got it. So what else? Then I said, he has two big ears like this. You have seen the beautiful owl, that's my bird. What he does? Just listening. Monk, don't talk all the time. Just listen. I love it. I really love it. Then he asked, what else? I said, that's it. No. There's something amazing when you're looking at the owl. Sometimes owl sitting on a tree branch, sitting there, and always shaking his head. He said, like always saying, Then he said, one day you become a big monk. So many people come to you and say things. You cannot accept everything. You cannot reject everything. You cannot give answers to everything. But you have to listen and always shaking your head. Then you will be safe. Now, I'm so grateful to my teacher. Now, so many times in my life, I'm always shaking my head. I always say, That's it. That's the answer. So therefore, always try to be an owl and listen. Then the second one, to gain the wisdom, thinking. So, when you are thinking, think mindfully. So usually when we think whatever we want. Whatever mind wants, we are thinking. So when we are practicing mindfulness, we call selective thinking. When you are practicing meditation, you can select what to think. Unnecessary things, you can keep it away. So that means you are thinking, that means you are not become a slave to your thinking. That's what we call introspection, going inward. Then the last one is meditate. Meditating and gaining wisdom. That's what you are doing. So while you are sitting, you can do all three together. You can listen to yourself, you can taking care of your thinking, your thoughts, and same time you can meditate. That is the best way to gain wisdom. What are the three things? Listening and gaining wisdom, thinking and gaining wisdom, meditating and gaining wisdom. So therefore, suffering is optional. Okay, thank you so much for this morning. I hope you learned something beautiful today. Tyler? Tyler, please sit here. Yeah. So otherwise people cannot hear. Yeah.
That's what happened last week,
Right,
isn't it?
exactly.
Yeah.
People will complain.
Both of them?
Yeah.
I'm just going to hold them like this, see if that works. Hi, everybody. I'm going to take this off because we're a few feet apart from each other. So, good morning. Who was here last week? A few of you. Okay, good. I'm glad to see that there's some reoccurrence and some new folks. It's really nice. So this is our third time back in the temple. It feels so weird to even say that. And so we're trying to learn how to navigate all these new changes. And I thought I would just talk a minute about a couple of things. As Bhante was telling us Dharma talk today, I started to think about some lettuce that he wouldn't let me eat while we were in Sri Lanka, maybe a decade ago now, I think. Do you remember the night? Yeah, okay, so We have a lot of inquiries here, especially I think since we've reopened the Saturday talks. We have a lot of people write us and message us and ask us questions, and a lot of that conversation is about how do we navigate this situation in our world right now, a worldwide pandemic, suffering, death, Black Lives Matter, social unrest, our family dynamics, maybe constraints around money or lack or abundance, all the things, right? All the things we're dealing with. And a lot of the questions that we get and that we field are like, what can I do? How can I navigate these times? What tools are available? What teachings are available that could maybe give us some direction, or maybe even like a daily way to kind of reset and ground ourselves and think about how to navigate this time. And so I think that the first thing that came to my mind when I started to get these questions this week, especially, was this evening with Bhante and the lettuce. So we were in the middle of nowhere in this little village, and we had been working really hard all day, and it's so hot. There's just not even a word to describe it. And I was exhausted and super hungry. And this was maybe my first or second time in Sri Lanka, and I was real concerned about the food. I was real worried about, like, should I take the medicine before we go? And, like, where can I eat that's safe? And what water do I drink? And I'm brushing my teeth with bottled water. It's ridiculous. And maybe necessary, who knows, right? And I kept noticing myself, being nervous when meals would come to us. I'd be like, I'm not sure about this. And so this particular day, we were in this village, and I was particularly hungry and tired, and we sit down for our meal, and I really wanted like a salad, like fresh, alive food. We'd been there for, weeks, and so I said to Bhante, can I order this salad? Is it safe? And until then, I had only eaten cooked food, and when it's like 190 degrees, eating cooked food is so gross. And so I really wanted this cold salad. And he said, it's totally fine. We were in a place where they used all the proper care, and it was washed properly. And he reassured me that we'd be fine. And in Sri Lanka, everything takes about 70 hours. So when you order a meal, it's pretty much like 3 days before it comes. And it's very, very slow paced. And so during the delayed arrival of my salad, I started to get more and more worried. And I noticed my body tensing up, and I couldn't withhold the fear any longer. And I reached over to Bhante again, and I said, are you sure I can have this salad? And he goes, yeah, I'm very sure. It's totally fine. Then, of course, another 17 hours goes by, and I'm getting more and more nervous because I just don't want to get sick in the middle of nowhere. And so I reach over to him one more time when the salad arrives, and I have my fork, and I'm like, Bhante, you sure I can eat this? And he slams his plate down, and he goes, nope, and he tells the person, take it away. And do you remember? And so he brings me, he orders something for me, and now I have to wait another 17 hours for what I deemed safe food. But later that night we took a walk, and I said, Bhante, what happened? I thought it was safe, and then you determined it was unsafe. And he said, well, it was safe until your mind deemed it unsafe. And, we chant that every day here. We chant, mind is the forerunner of all states. It's our middle chant between our meditation and our dharma talk. We're always talking about our minds being the forerunner of all states. But I've been thinking about that lettuce a lot this week in response to all that's happening in our world and all the fear that's coming at us. And I've been really reminded about how important it is to make sure that I'm staying steady and grounded and centered in my spiritual practice, so that I can respond, from a noble base of steadiness in a world that feels so unsteady. And so I got to thinking, should we develop some guidelines for people? And I never even asked Bhante about this because I answered my own question before I got to reach him. But I started thinking maybe the temple should establish some guidelines that we could offer people to carry around during this time, maybe through the election, which we all know is going to be a little weird, or maybe through until we get a vaccine, right? Like there's always stuff going on. Maybe we could establish some way for all of us to come together. And I reflected on that for a day, and then I realized in another conversation, we've been talking about all the things that we're going to cancel for the temple. We're doing the best we can, but frankly, we're canceling most everything we've had planned this year. And one of the really big important things is our precept ceremony, which we don't know whether we'll have that or not, or maybe we'll have it in a new way. But right now, we have no idea. And there's actually a lot of beauty in that surrender, to be present and just say, right now it's like this, and tomorrow we'll see what it's like. But I got thinking about how many people will be so disappointed about the precepts. Many people wait years to take them and work really hard and study. And so I'm in this conversation about how are we going to handle the precept ceremony, and I realize it's ridiculous to rewrite any guidelines, because as I was thinking about those precepts, I began thinking about the virus and social unrest while reading the precepts, realizing that we already have the 5 tools. I'd never thought about them in association with a worldwide pandemic, right? I thought them more in how do I live my daily life, what felt like in a more normal time. But they couldn't be more flawless in this time. They're actually designed, and our living those practices as best we can. I don't know if you would agree. I can't think of something that could serve us or the planet more than each of us reaffirming our commitment to those precepts. So I'm just going to take a minute and read them. And I want to ask everybody just in your mind to think about the virus, think about all the fear and the suffering, think about the social unrest in our world, and then consider whether or not these trainings or these practices might be a good navigator for you. So, the first training. Aware of the suffering caused by this destruction of life, I am committed to cultivating compassion and learning ways to protect the lives of people, animals, planets, and minerals. I am determined not to kill, not to let others kill, and not to condone any act of killing in the world, in my thinking, and in my way of life. Second training. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I am committed to cultivating loving kindness and learning ways to work for the well-being of people, animals, planets, and minerals. I am committed to practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. I am determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. I will respect the property of others, but I will prevent others from profiting from human suffering or the suffering of other species on Earth. So keep all the current situations in your mind as we keep going. Third training. Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I am committed to cultivating responsibility and learning ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. I am determined not to engage in sexual relations without love and a long-term commitment. To preserve the happiness of others and myself, I am determined to respect my commitments and the commitments of others. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. Fourth training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech, and the inability to listen to others, I am committed to cultivating loving speech and deep listening in order to bring joy and happiness to others and relieve others of their suffering. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I am committed to learn to speak truthfully with words that inspire self-confidence, joy, and hope. I am determined not to spread news that I do not know to be certain, and not to criticize or condemn things for which I am not sure. I will refrain from uttering words that can cause division or discord, or that can cause the family or the community to break. I will make all efforts to reconcile and resolve all conflicts, however small. Fifth training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful consumption, I am committed to cultivating good health, both physical and mental, for myself, my family, and my society by practicing mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. I am committed to ingest only items that preserve peace, well-being, and joy in my body, in my consciousness, and in the collective body and consciousness of my family and society. I am determined not to use alcohol or other intoxicants, or to ingest foods or other items that contain toxins, such as certain TV programs, magazines, books, films, and conversations. I am aware that to damage my body or my consciousness with these poisons is to betray my ancestors, my parents, my society, and future generations. I will work to transform violence, fear, anger, and confusion in myself and in society by practicing a diet for myself and for society. I understand that a proper diet is crucial for self-transformation and for the transformation of society. It's pretty interesting. Most of you, I assume, have heard those, taken them. Many of us have taken those vows. Isn't it unusually interesting to hear them in the context of these current times, right? Like, I think when I'm looking for a roadmap, or when we have people reach out to us on how do we establish a daily practice, I just don't think there's much else to say but those 5 precepts. So, Bhante, I thank you and all the monks for always bringing those to us. And just a little bit of housekeeping. How many people get Bhante's morning coffee with Bhante every morning in the emails? So we now have a beautiful book filled with the best of Bhante's morning coffee, along with some really beautiful color photography. And so some of his greatest Bhante-isms are now available in book format. And this is a rather disappointing time to do a book release, so we're going to wait to do it, but they are available. And frankly, any tool that can help people right now feel a little more spiritually fit, we want to get out into the world. And so I just want to remind people that that's available. And Bhante, why don't you talk about your water bottles that you love so much?
Yeah, that's a Choose Loving Kindness water bottle. That's my favorite water bottle. Somebody gave me this bottle. So then I thought I would make one for the temple too. So they're very good. And you can use it for hot and cold. And it has a string inside, you know. So
Yeah.
you can take it out, and it's a really good water bottle. And also I want to tell you a story about this mask. Actually, it's called the Choose Loving Kindness mask. This is the message I'm trying to spread, not the COVID. So one of my friends from Phoenix called me other day. Her hometown is Flagstaff, but she's living in Phoenix. So she was walking around the city in the Flagstaff. So she saw somebody wearing this mask. And she reached to that person, do you know Bhante? Then they both started, you know Bhante? Then they become good friends. So it's very interesting as this message spread around the world. And other day I went to the restaurant to pick up some food. I was wearing like this. The front desk person said, I love your mask and the message, I want to get one. Then I gave the website. And so it's a simple thing, but it's protecting us, and also same time we are passing that message. I can see you are wearing it. Thank you so much. That's a good story.
Thank you. Just some housekeeping about the temple. As I talked about last week, we have made a conscious decision to only take this day by day. So right now we're still only open on Saturdays in an extremely limited capacity. And I think we'll continue to do that, but it's entirely possible we won't. And so really what we do is, I think Bhante is checking in with his heart when he feels right and wrong. We're all checking in with our hearts, what feels safe and what feels unsafe. We've been doing some outdoor meditations. We continue to struggle with people respecting the monks in terms of social distancing and wanting to hug and masks. I know that there is an overwhelming almost uncontrollable desire to be affectionate with people that mean so much to us. But we don't need to elaborate on how unrespectful that actually is in these current times. And so, I want to just continue to remind everybody that the monks will not stop you. They do not feel comfortable doing that. I'm asking you to be mindful and stop yourself from putting them in that awkward position. So please just continue to be really mindful and keep social distance with the monks. That's how we're able to open up today and these last 3 weeks, is by asking everybody to hold their mindfulness at the forefront of their actions. As far as the temple goes, some very remarkable things. We talked about it a little bit last week. Even though we're not here physically, we've actually been growing the size of our Sangha in proportions we never could have dreamed. We often can fit 200 people in this room. We rarely do. But now we're getting 2,000, 3,000, 6,000 people viewing our meditations virtually, which is just a really remarkable thing. And so we're just grateful that we've all been able to kind of pivot financially as the temple sits here unused. That does not mean that the expenses associated with the temple become unneeded. And so we've been really appreciative of people maintaining their pledges during this difficult time. We certainly understand that people are changing their ability to give based on their current circumstances, and we totally respect and honor that. However, when people are watching online, we are asking, hey, if you have $1, $5 that you can send, we'd be really grateful. Imagine we could all give so much less if all of us gave something. And so that's just what I want to remind everybody, is that during these times where we're navigating all of this, both of our biggest fundraisers this year have been canceled. The way the operations of the temple works is we're very grateful for your constant generosity, but frankly, we have 2 fundraisers a year that probably pay for about 8 months of our operating expenses, and both of those events were canceled so far. So you can understand what I'm saying in the in between of all that, which is that we're here, we're offering this practice. We're so grateful that this is our home and our refuge. We're really thrilled to be able to bring it to so many more people during this time. And we would ask that if it's meant something to you, please consider helping us so that we can make sure we keep doing this. Anything else?
That's it. And also August 2nd, we are doing a homestay Zoom retreat. Yeah, so it's a day retreat on Zoom. You can join from home. So if you are interested, myself and the monastic and I have invited some other monks, and so we are taking the time to each monk and the monastic. So if you want to join for that homestay Zoom retreat, please register for that. Okay, so thank you so much everybody. Thank you.